The world's first raid races in Destiny. If you ever look at the highest viewership of this game in Destiny 1 and Destiny 2, the raid races are crazy. I mean, people that normally get no viewers at all will suddenly have 20,000 plus viewers if they are in the lead in that raid race. It's an immense opportunity for people to be seen, especially if they're trying to be a sweaty raider. If they're trying to stream, trying to make content, we've seen countless careers get launched from these raid races. Some of the most well-known content creators built their names from these. A good example of this would be Redeem, the clan Redeem. You have Glad in that clan, you have Sweatsicle. These guys accomplished the impossible, it seemed, and cleared Last Wish in its 24-hour limit. That obviously really helped launch and build their channels, which is really cool. It's a really incredible accomplishment. Gigs now has an opinion on this. He's a raid race aficionado enthusiast. He also completed Last Wish in 24 hours, but he was second to do so, so no raid belt for him on that one. He goes on to say this right here, possibly hot take, but I hate that Bungie has an official watch party for the raid race when they used to be against the idea. I've seen many careers be made in these races after someone did well. Every viewer they get is a viewer away from the community. That leaves a bad taste. So what he's talking about is that people will do watch parties where they watch various streams and see their progress as they go through the raid race. In the process, people who are more established and have bigger audiences can grow from this, but it's growing off of the backs of other people doing all the hard work. So they're not doing the hard work, they're just watching others' hard work and profiting off of it. This obviously rubs Gigs the wrong way. You can feel free to comment if you agree or disagree, but let's see what he has to say here, because we actually had DMG responding to this, which is the community manager. We'll get to that in a second. Let's look at this top comment. 100% agree. If they're going to keep the watch party, then add a prize pool. Bungie previously did not promote these watch parties in the past. They were kind of against it. Now they are fully promoting it and they're making it a big thing. In fact, they're flying people out for this and they're making it a huge deal, which is, it's okay, I guess. Taking away from the people that are working really hard to like actually get the world's first is, you know, it's going to rub some people the wrong way. They said 100% agree. If they're going to keep the watch party, then add a prize pool from that stream's earnings. Winning a race used to mean guaranteed overnight viewers. It's literally made the careers of many modern popular creators. So here's the response that we got from Bungie themselves. Actually responded to this. Yes. So this tweet right here got the attention of Bungie. So this individual says, could say if somebody who doesn't really have a following is playing well and one of the top teams in the race, the Bungie stream can give them exposure that they may not normally get unless they update their title and aren't buried in the directory. Pros and cons to both, in my opinion, you know? And then he goes, not usually how it plays out. I've seen people jump to 20K viewers historically, like Ninja in Last Wish, which is a good point. He's trying to say that the Bungie stream could also be promoting the smaller streamer. But the reality is that it's a small community. We know who's in the lead when it comes to these raid races. If you get ahead, people are going to be watching. Bungie responds with this right here saying, we've still been seeing this with watch parties, thankfully. Folks tuned in still end up hopping over to a frontrunner stream to cheer them on. That said, appreciate the feedback. Some folks like having a single place to chill to see a swath of competitors. It can be difficult navigating all the streams and keeping up with the race. That FOMO vibe of missing the first completion because you couldn't find the right stream, all that stuff. CB and Evan are committed to showcasing a ton of streams and keeping folks up to date on progress. And we're stoked it was enjoyed with the last dungeon race. Hope to feel more of that vibe and continue pushing people to the individual streams. Gigs responds to this saying, it applies with all watch parties in my opinion. They all leave a bad taste. Maybe a prize pool generated by the revenue of the stream if these are going to be a regular thing. Charity incentive in their name? I personally would prefer it not being a thing like it used to be, but I do think there should be some trade-off. I understand that some people like having a single place, but it comes off as Bungie monetizing off of other people's streams and siphoning viewers during the community's big day. Side note, a rule preventing black screens and no comms would do wonders because it's been getting out of hand. Like one person needing to stream to be considered for world's first. At this point in time, there's really no excuse to not have at least one person streaming without a major delay and without obstructing the entire screen. Oh well. Yeah, that's another problem, is that people are blacking out their screens and stuff. Doing a watch party ends up being kind of awkward. Like for the final shape, it was extremely awkward because people were just for hours had their screens blacked out, so there's not even anything to say or see. They're in a weird place right now, for sure. The real watch party is just bouncing around from whoever's stream is ahead. People trying to promote their watch parties and funnel and siphon people into that viewership vacuum. It's a strategy that you're going to use. And does it make Gigs a Karen? No, I think his opinion is more of a minority opinion. I don't think everyone fully agrees with this. He just has a very strong opinion about this because he's been doing these raids for so long, and we've seen it grow so many other people's channels. As it grows people's channels, people, of course, are going to try and jump in and mastermind some ways to get some viewers on their channel. Let's be real. A good example is like if someone gets 50,000 viewers streaming the world's first raid race, and if you can't do what they can do, then what's the next best thing to do? To watch them do it. You know what I'm saying? That's always the best thing to do. But that's kind of where we're at with content creation in general, is that there's a lot of reaction content. There's a lot of commentary. There's a lot of review content. People who do that should obviously give credit, and hopefully the smaller streamers that do excel in these world's first races get the credit they deserve. That's at the very least, right? Because if you do get a world's first, you deserve credit. But this day and age, it seems like people are streaming this or not streaming this and just getting the belt and not even caring about any viewership and stuff like that, which is interesting to me. Like culture around these world's first races. Some people literally don't even stream it because they don't want people to steal their strategies. Their desire is to just power through it and get that world's first. And others are streaming it literally for the intent to grow their audience, to gain mass viewership and subscribers and things like that. There's no right way or wrong way to do it. Now we're starting to see a new element, which is these watch parties are becoming more popular and more mainstream. Gigs here at least has an opinion that offers a little bit of a pushback. The reason why I don't side with Gigs completely, but I at least understand where he's coming from, is because if you actually look at how much time and effort these guys put into preparing for this, you'd be amazed, right? I'll give you a good example, like just Salt Grepo is a good example because this guy has got like 4 world's first raid belts, right? I pull up his Twitter and this is the first thing I see is 4 separate pictures of his raid belts, literally flexing. This man right here, look at it. He puts up the 4. He puts up the 4. This guy. He couldn't have just one picture of it. He needed 4 separate pictures. This guy. Anyways. So yeah, he's streaming day 1 prep. You know, these guys prep for this stuff for like weeks or even months in advance. They prep for it. For just getting the armor alone, this man did 827 clears of Grasp of Avarice. Just to give you an idea of why people get upset about this profiting off of other people's hard work, right? This man did 827 clears of Grasp in 1 week for the sole purpose of getting armor that he believes will be the most powerful and advantageous armor to clear the new raid world's first. That's his level of dedication. Now, the people doing the watch parties aren't doing any of this. They're just clicking on his stream and watching. So who deserves the viewers? The guy that's literally pouring in so much hours, so much time, so much dedication for weeks, months perhaps, just for this one singular day to try and accomplish something, or the person that just clicks on their URL and watches them do it. These guys work so hard to have every tiny minute advantage for these world's first races that they definitely deserve all the credit. If Salt gets world's first, he deserves all the credit because it's crazy, right? And you might say that's a super nerd, right? Someone in the chat says Salt's a nerd, that guy's a loser or something. You don't have to like people that want to do this, but this is their passion. And at least 100,000 live viewers on Twitch will be watching the world's first race for the new raid. Whoever is in first place deserves all those viewers because they worked really hard. This is a good example of just hard work, grinding at this. You might say, well, that's ridiculous. Hard work in a video game? Yeah, I mean, it's not like physically exhausting hard work, but it's just a grind, you know what I'm saying? I'm not saying it's like this man is fucking out here laying down bricks, you know, or something crazy. There's a level of dedication and time and effort and energy put into getting these worlds first. You don't get to flex this. You don't get to pull this off, all right, without doing this. You don't get to pull this off without doing this. It's just the way it is. You don't get to casually roll up into the new raid and just be like, yeah, whatever, dude, I'm clearing this, right? Back in the day when an LFG team got world's first, sure. But in the modern era with contest mode, the actual belt's on the line. Not very humble of him. If you go and you work really hard at something and you get an award for it, you're gonna show it off. Like, let's be real. If you're out there watching right now and you got a world's first raid belt, dude, I'm gonna be posting pictures of that. That's gonna be behind me here. Like, I got my iron Galhorn here, you know, that's not a flex by any means. I just like the Galhorn, iron Galhorn, but got it at a pawn shop. But it's like, if I had a world's first raid belt, it's going to be behind me here. The title is going to be world's first raider, Lucky 10p. We're rebranding the whole channel, you know what I'm saying? I'm going to be wearing this thing. I'm going to be walking around the house with this thing naked pretty much every day, you know what I'm saying? I'm going to be streaming butt-ass naked with the raid belt if I win that, all right? Because that shit's crazy. That's hard to get. Anyways, the whole point is that, so the people that work really, really hard at this, they work a lot harder and they dedicate so much time, weeks and months, just to get this. They do this type of shit, this crazy level of grinding for grass. And this is just one thing. This isn't even all the bounties. This isn't even all of the exotic armor that he's also farming. This isn't even all the time that he's going to put into the new expansion for the several days leading up to the raid. This is all just hard work just to get to pull off one of these. So these guys deserve all the viewership and all the success that they get. So I side with gigs on that a little bit, but I also understand that watch parties are going to exist. They're just going to exist. You can't stop people from watching other people's content, but try to be as respectful as possible and promote those people as much as you can. They deserve the viewership.